253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. The first hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com. Now, here is your host, Johnny Radio himself, John Harden.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy, Johnny Radio. Gabe Kuhn is in the house, and by the way, he's my buddy. Follow my buddy at G_Kuhn71. That's his football number back in the day. Feel very blessed that he signed an autographed copy of him playing football. It's a beautiful thing. I put it in my collector's item. I'm going to hang it in my bathroom wall. Beautiful, beautiful thing. Speaking of beautiful things, we're going to talk about Jeff Bezos and what he has in common with Dr. Evil's rocket. We're also going to talk about why Richard Branson's doesn't look that way. I don't know either. Josh Heupel, curious, everybody. 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. If you don't know who Josh Heupel is, it's kind of interesting that you're listening to me because he is the head coach for the Tennessee Vols. SEC Media Days is in full effect. We had Florida, LSU, South Carolina yesterday. Dan Mullen, Ed Orgeron, and, of course, Shane Beamer. Today we had Kirby Smart, Stoops, Lane Kiffin, and Mr. Josh Heupel. And I got to ask this question at 901-360-8255, or you can message us on Facebook. You can also watch us on YouTube, Twitch, and at sports56whbq.com. But, Gabe, I want you to think about this real quick. Put your thinking cap on, brother. Close your eyes if you need to. Imagine if Justin Timberlake, did he date Britney Spears?
Briefly, yes.
Okay, if he wasn't in a boy band dating Britney Spears and he became JT of today and he never got out of Millington and he was constantly eating pork and burritos and chili pies, would he not look like Josh Heupel? Josh Heupel is Justin Timberlake who did not make it out of Millington. He is fat JT. Look at his face. He looks just like Justin Timberlake.
I'm not sure if I'm into that one. I don't know if I'm into that one at all.
Dude, you need to pull up Justin Timberlake, pull up Josh Heupel, and tell me, put 40 pounds on Justin Timberlake.
They have different colored hair, first of all.
Dude, I'm colorblind.
Oh, okay. That probably explains it.
I'm doing more of the facial features, brother. Dude, plus, what if he started dancing up there on the stage, dude? He looked just like JT. Check it out. Everybody go look at it. Tell me if I'm crazy, which maybe I am crazy. But, dude, Josh Heupel looks like fat Justin Timberlake, who never made it out of Millington. 901-360-8255. We got a lot to discuss. Brett Norsworthy, he's down in Hoover, Alabama, baby. Because you know what we got, SEC Media Days. We had a lot of good things from yesterday. We'll talk about what happened yesterday, what was discussed. We'll also talk about the COVID vaccine and Greg Sankey. We'll talk about the best, the winners, the losers. We got Hardenwood. But at 1:45, what are we going to do? Talk with our man, Stats. Brett Norsworthy, of course. He's down there right now taking care of all the business. He will join us at 1:45. Who joins us every Tuesday at 1:30? That would be CBS Sports Reporter, Mr. David Cobb. David Cobb is also the guy who got me on Tinder. He's an all-around really good guy. Great writer, great friend, and he made a great Tinder profile for me. I think there was a lot of left swipes. He did such a good job. Now, I'm not saying he used my real pictures, but you know what? Sometimes when you get there, it's all you have to do is be there. Just be there. You never know. You might get used. Now, there's a lot of great things to get into as well, and some ugly things. Like we got some really weird stuff going on in the world. Of course, we got rockets flying into, it's not necessarily space, but we have Tiger Woods news. The Team USA Gymnastics. So they're not going to go into the Olympic Village. Did you hear about this, Gabe? After the whole positive test situation, I understand that Miss Simone Biles is the baller shot caller that she is, But this won't be like 1992 when the Dream Team stayed off in a yacht away from the Olympic Village. Like, where are they going to go hide in Tokyo? This is what I don't understand, because I was reading the story today, and it never says where they're going to be. It just says, according to reports, CNN's Will Ripley says that just basically says the Team USA Gymnastics are skipping Olympic Village after the positive COVID test, and they're moving elsewhere. Where?
You would think, considering COVID-19, they'd have to stay at Olympic Village.
Dude, they don't even sell beer in Olympic Village. I'd be grateful to get out of that junk. You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do in Olympic Village? Go hang out on cardboard beds?
But no, you're right. They need more of an explanation. I need to know where they're actually staying then, if they're not staying at Olympic Village.
They said that they don't feel that the athletes and their safety is suited for Olympic Village. By the way, this is just bad news for the Olympics. We got Olympic sports starting today, by the way. Yes, opening ceremony is on Friday. Are they going to get through this, do you think? Do you think the Olympics are going to go off with do you think they're going to finish it? They're going to have the opening
here's
ceremony.
the thing. Did you see today that the chief of the organizing committee said that they're not ruling out a last-minute cancellation? So, it's still up in the air.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if some events got canceled.
By the way, did you see Ben Kercheval of CBSSports.com write an article about Bryce Young nearing a $1 million name, image, and likeness deal?
How about Nick Saban at a Texas high school coaches clinic dropping that information?
That's so
I would say he knew what he was doing.
Yes, I would say that Nick Saban most of the time knows what he's doing. Just look at his record. Look how he beats the brakes off of all of his former coaches, pretty much everybody that he runs into. Only person that's got his number a couple times is old Dabo.
Look at this 5-star recruit. He's making $1 million. All you guys have 5-star recruits on your team. Let them know. Let them know what Bryce Young's getting.
Yes, but you know what? Master P's kids also got $1 million deal at Tennessee State, yo. But you know what? Bryce Young's dad doesn't have.
He's also a Master
P's
P's child.
Yeah.
So that's sort of pokes a hole quickly through that argument. But all right.
But
you're right, though. You're correct.
Do you think he's going to go up to Eddie George and go, "Hey, yo, Eddie, I'm making more money this year than you are, brother"?
Well, considering he's a basketball player, he won't be walking up to Eddie George.
Dude, you don't think they're going to see each other? Come on.
Well, that's not his coach, though, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I'm just, they're on the same. Never mind. I think you understand what I'm saying. I know one's a basketball player, and I know Eddie George coaches football. But you know what? Eddie George also does ballerina, and he plays in musicals in New York and all that stuff. I'm just saying, Eddie George is going to be around that state. Yes, and I also know Deion Sanders coaches football as well, and they'll be here at the Southern Heritage Classic. Master P, you think I didn't think? You thought he played football? So upset with you. What does Master P always talk about? Basketball. He also calls himself a former NBA player because he did 2 scrimmages. I mean, basically exhibitions. So I think I do know that. But anyway, we got a lot of things to get to. The biggest point, though, I got to make is Chad Gatlin of the Gatlin Agency. They give you the entire first hour. Thank them very much. Go to MemphisFarmers.com. Get a fast quote today. Very fast quote. 15 seconds or less. But you know what? You can also call him at 901-235-1176. You're going to want to know that number once you get him insuring all your stuff, because 901-235-1176, in your time of need, he will take care of you so fast, it is not even funny. I've had my condo, which I don't live in anymore, I had it flooded. I had my car wrecked. I've had a lot of things in my life go a little south. But you know who's always there to pick me up? My buddy Chad Gatlin at the Gatlin Agency. They're an all-encompassing agency. They don't just do homeowners, car insurance, traveler's insurance, life insurance. They also help you with your business goals, paying for your children's education, saving and investing, and making sure you're financially secure when you reach retirement age. Check out the Gatlin Agency at MemphisFarmers.com or give them a call, 901-235-1176. Gabe Kuhn, I'm hanging out in that box.
Not only Chad Gatlin there to pick you up when you're down, I'm there to pick you up when you're down, buddy.
By the way,
Always.
You picked me up when I was really down, and we're going to play a great thing because I talked about Jeff Bezos earlier. We're not going to do it now, but I promise you at 2 o'clock, Gabe Kuhn brought a beautiful, what would you call it? Just
It's a movie scene.
simpatico, Jeff Bezos, his Blue Origin, his big Blue O,
Yeah.
and Dr. Evil's rocket. They have a lot in common. You're going to hear what's in common at 2 o'clock today. Gabe Kuhn, thank you so much for that.
But right now, let's start with Game 6 in Milwaukee. Bucks are 5-point favorites, and the total is 222. Bucks are in a situation where they have won 3 straight. They're 10-1 at home in the playoffs. Giannis has been incredible. He's averaged 32 points per game, 13 rebounds per game, and 6 assists per game. He's undoubtedly the Finals MVP if the Bucks finish the job tonight. First, I need you to give me your picks for tonight. Like I said, Bucks are 5-point favorites. The total is 222. And then tell me how much this championship and Finals MVP would mean for Giannis's legacy.
First and foremost, I have to say, there's nothing better than a Game 7, NBA Finals, all's on the line, winner's the champ. It just feels right. It's dope as all get out. Now, when I was during my MJ years, we never saw a Game 7 because he always won them in at least 5 or 6. He didn't play no games. What's up, Russell? Crossover in your face. MJ's still the greatest, Gabe. But Giannis, can he put himself up there with some of the best that's ever done it? I don't know why he can't. He's got a most improved player. He's got a defensive player of the year. He has 2 MVPs. He's got an all-star game MVP. He is an all-NBA all-time, a first-team all-NBA player. And if he gets that chip and then he gets an MVP to the finals, Giannis goes from a dude who's just the Greek freak to the greatest Greek player in the history of the world. Who's the greatest Greek in the world? Do you know who that is? I don't either. Do you know any other Greeks? Giannis, baby, the freak. And I'll tell you one thing. This would be so important to him. But you know who would also just absolutely crush? Chris Paul. Do you remember last week when I told you, man, did you go home and watch any ESPN yesterday? They were talking about is Chris Paul a top 5 point guard of all time? Like forever. Best point guard in the history of the NBA is Chris Paul top 5. Well, you know what? If he gets that chip, he might be in that conversation. You know what happens with him without that chip? He's relegated to Steve Nash, John Stockton. They're great players and everything, but are they top 5? Absolutely not. Top 5, you got to be one of the best. And Giannis might elevate himself to the Mount Rushmore of basketball players in this era. He gets this chip, a couple more chips. He's still a young buck. He is still young as all get out, and look at what he's got. And by the way, he's playing on, I still don't know how his knee did what it did, and now he's coming back in the finals, and he's doing what he's doing. It's just absolutely crazy. But you know what the most important thing about Giannis, and you're going to love this, if Giannis is going to be one of the Mount Rushmores of basketball during this era, up there with LeBron James, and go back to some Cobes, if he's going to be up there with those guys, guess what? He's going to need his Robin. It's not his Batman, but he's going to need Chris Middleton to actually play good tonight, because if they're going to close out, if they're going to beat the Suns 4 straight times, and as Jim Morrison used to say, the West is the best. Like when you looked at the East, come on, when the Nets got knocked out, when Harden got, his hurt, when Kyrie got hurt, everybody's like, well, there goes Brooklyn's championship. When Embiid was playing with Ben Simmons, who couldn't hit a free throw, I could shoot a free throw better than Ben Simmons. Everybody was like, bro, the East is just down. When Trae Young and his bad hair is dominating all over the place and doing what he's doing, people are like, bro, Atlanta doesn't win championships even when they're good. Okay, yes, they got that one World Series. Thank you, Sid Bream, and that good staff. But come on, Atlanta doesn't win championships. Milwaukee winning a championship, it's going to put Giannis so far up there, it's not even funny.
And
he's going to be
think
up there
about
with a
this.
big O.
He's
Blue
not even
Origin.
27 yet. 5 All-Stars, 5 All-NBAs, 4 All-Defensive teams. He was all on the All-Rookie team. He was an All-Star MVP. He was a Defensive Player of the Year. He was a Most Improved Player. He's been a 2-time MVP. And then if he adds a Finals MVP and then a championship on top of that before the age of 27 without a super team,
Do you call that
come
a
on,
banana?
man.
Do you call that a banana sundae?
That's absolutely unbelievable.
You know when they
And-
split bananas
and
with some
you
ice cream?
and I've been seeing this on Twitter, people trying to take away from Giannis and what his game is by saying, oh, well, he's a basketball player, he's not a hooper, and there's like this there's this ridiculous Twitter argument going on yesterday about Giannis and how many people are trying to take away from what he's done. But if he gets this done and accomplishes this, I mean, he goes down as one of the greats of this era. And
Okay,
there's
hold
no
on.
question.
You have to answer this to me real quick. Did you say people are saying he's not a hooper, but he's the best basketball player in the finals, but he's not a hooper.
Johnny, it's
103 points in the first three games.
It's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Anybody that can go out and get you 40 points is a hooper. I don't care. He's a bucket getter. He's a baller. He's whatever the hell you want to call him.
Did you see the block? Did you see the block? That's all I have to remind you. It was better than LeBron James block on Iggy. I ain't joking, man.
But again,
Giannis.
stupid arguments come out of social media, so I don't want to harp too much on that. Now,
by the way, virus has also come out of social media. Remember that. We talked about it yesterday. I did some hard-hitting journalism. I went and checked like I told you yesterday.
Did you hit a bad link?
I went and did it on purpose, Gabe, okay? I went, like we said yesterday, because I wanted the kids to hear my segment, start going and looking at Twitter porn, because I told them yesterday it's worse than HPV. And what happened in my phone? How many viruses do I have? I showed them to you. It's loaded with viruses. And they're all in my calendar, which I don't get. Can you see them? That is a bunch of viruses.
Hard-hitting journalism. Oh, my God. So you took one for the team so you could get the information out to our listeners.
Just want to make sure that what I say on these airwaves are always correct.
You need help. NFL news yesterday. Steelers went out and they tried to replace some of the production in regards to their pass rush that they're going to miss out from last season. They went out and signed Melvin Ingram to replace Bud Dupree, who is now in Nashville with the Titans, after signing a massive $85 million contract. But Melvin Ingram missed a majority of 2020 with a knee injury, and in his 7 games last season had 0 sacks. But he is a 3-time Pro Bowler and was a big part of the Chargers' defense for years. At 32 years old, though, do you think he can replace the production they're losing with Bud Dupree out of the picture?
Hell to the no. To the no. Come on, Bishop Bullwinkle. Sing it, baby. No way. Do you know T.J. Watt? Sorry. I want to get my letters correct. T.J. Watt. Do you know what he's saying? Bro, they're going to double me, triple me all day long because Melvin's best football is past him. How many sacks did he have last year? Is that what you said? 0. Me and you had the same amount of sacks as he did. Now, in his first 9 seasons, he racked up 49 sacks, which is 4th in franchise history. He was a Pro Bowl nods in 2017 and 2019. But right now, at 32 years old, Gabe Kuhn, you're not even 26 years old, and you struggle doing all kinds of things.
Not true.
Yeah, you do. Like, you can't even put down a full margarita, man. It's like, have to help you out. It freaks me out. I'm like, dude.
A full margarita.
Well, you know how big they are. They're
not like
jumbos.
The massive ones you get. You're talking about the jumbos.
The jumbos.
That's not a full margarita. That's like 3 full margaritas in one, buddy.
But no, what I'm saying is realistically, the Tennessee Titans got Bud Dupree. The Tennessee Titans got better. Mike Tomlin has Ben Roethlisberger, who's old and decrepit, and then he brings in another old man in Melvin Ingram. And this is what's funny to me. Did you hear Melvin Ingram's when Josina Anderson asked him, basically, what are you going to bring to the Steelers? My role is my role. He just told me, Mike Tomlin, that is, to come in and be me. Everyone knows I can play. No, we don't. It's been a few years, Ingram, since we saw you on top of a quarterback. By the way, that's kind of your job. If you don't get on top of him, how are you going to... Ben Roethlisberger is the only quarterback he could probably sack, and they play on the same team. Well, Jared Goff does play in Detroit, so 2 quarterbacks he can get to. I don't see the Lions on the Steelers' their roster. I mean, again, in their schedule this year. I think this is grasping for straws. I think the Steelers are actually going to be a bad football team this year.
They're not paying that much for him, and I think it's worth a flyer, considering what Bud Dupree did across from T.J. Watt, and considering what T.J. Watt looked like when Bud Dupree was out. So you need another premier edge rusher, and this is an effort.
Premier?
Now, here's the thing. In 2019 is the last year he was good. Let's be honest. He was a Pro Bowler that year. 2020 injuries were really bad, and he had issues. He was dealing with a contract situation that never got figured out. I'm not sure that he can play a whole bunch of good football like he did from 2017 to 2019. But in my opinion, it's worth a flyer. You try to replace some production. If he can't do it on the other side of T.J. Watt, if he can't do it with Stephon Tuitt taking up 2 blockers, then he can't do it anymore. So I like the move. Certainly a flyer. Not necessarily convinced it will work out the way they want it to. But I think this is a good move for the Steelers.
I don't know if it's a good move. I have a question, honestly, realistically. Do you think that now all of a sudden that, how do I say this? Do you think the Cleveland Browns are scared of the fact that they added Melvin Ingram to the Steelers, or maybe the Baltimore Ravens? You think you know what Lamar Jackson's doing? Going, I can run around backwards around Melvin Ingram. I can literally, I think TJ Watt is actually the saddest person that they signed Melvin Ingram, because he was hoping that they would go out and get
Well, who else
stud.
do they have, though?
Who's available right now?
And they don't have much cap space this year. Going into next year, they'll have a bunch.
Yep.
So, they had to make a move, and I think this is the best they could do given the situation. So,
Dude, the Bengals might finish better than the Steelers this year.
I think you're crazy. I think you're absolutely insane.
I think I am crazy. But you know what? I think the Steelers stink, and I think the Bengals and the Steelers are going to fight for last place of the AFC North.
You want me to be honest? I think the Steelers will be a good team again this year.
Are they going to be better than the Browns?
Browns and Ravens, I think, are at the top of that division.
Better than the Ravens?
But
you're going to be third in your division. You're going to say they're going to be a good football team?
I think the Steelers will be a very solid football team. Does that mean they're a playoff team? I don't know, but I think they'll be solid again this year. Let's be honest. The AFC North has always gone through Pittsburgh. I don't think that'll be the case exactly this year, but I don't think they'll be as bad as people are making them out to be. Now,
Chargers on the up, Tennessee Titans on the way up. You got the Browns on the way up, Ravens on the way up, Buffalo Bills. People are saying the Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots. Where do the Steelers fit into this, John?
I'm not necessarily convinced they'll be a playoff team based on their division.
But I do think a team that covers a lot again in Vegas. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and I think they'll win 9, maybe 10 games. 11 maybe. 12 is a push.
If you put
12
9,
is pushing.
I'll take the under on 9, and you if they go under 9, I get lunch for a whole week. If it goes over, I'll take you out for 2 weeks.
Look, man. You know what? Fine. If we're gonna set the over under at 9, what if we push? We're good. We're all good.
If we push, I get 2.
Do we want to add the hook 9.5, or do we
let's
add 8.5? 8.5. No, 8.5.
All right, 8.5.
If we're adding the hook,
we got the hook.
I got over. You got under.
Deal
for lunch for a week.
Yep.
All right, cool. Sounds good. Do you have it written down? Or are you just gonna
Dude,
go?
I locked it in this.
You locking it in?
I'm locked in right now.
Not much gets locked in that thing. I'll tell you that. Not much gets locked in. SEC Media Days, we obviously have our coverage. It's rolling on. Day 2, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Georgia are talking today. Yesterday we had South Carolina, LSU, Florida. Let me know, one, what are the storylines from day 1? And also, who do you think won day 1 of SEC Media Days?
One of the main storylines is Greg Sankey and what he said about COVID, about how he talked about maybe 6 teams are already over 80%. You heard Kirby Smart basically say his team's over 85%, and they're going for more. But I think we're going to talk about that later. I think Shane Beamer, bro, that wasn't subtle. He used SEC Media Days as a recruiting message. Did you see who he's trying to get? Oscar Delp, the 5-star or 4-star Georgia tight end. He's from Georgia, not going to the University of Georgia. He's awesome. He goes out there and he talks about basically the entire roster. He even talks about like his best player. And don't forget, he brought his tight end, Mr. Muse. He brought him down there. You know that, right? And you know what he was pitching? We're going to use tight ends like nobody in the country. And I'll tell you right now, he came out and said that he wanted a hashtag We Want Delp. All South Carolina fans right now, hashtag We Want Delp. We want this guy. Delp is the 99th ranked recruit in the class of 2020. He has offers from Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, and a whole lot of others. But to get a shout out on media days and you're a high school kid and you're a recruit, how dope is that? And did you know who retweeted it? Who retweeted it yesterday? Mr. Delp, Oscar. By the way, what is Oscar? There's 2 things to Oscar, 3 things that I think of Oscar. Oscar the Grouch, Oscar as an ounce, and Oscar Delp. Which one do you think South Carolina wants more? Well, they want the tight end. And you know what? Hashtag We Want Delp was trending when I woke up this morning, so it's still going. That's a big thing. If South Carolina football is being talked about on social media, you know who won the day. And Dan Mullen took a shot at Georgia. Ed Orgeron didn't answer anything in the Title IX lawsuit that he's got going on. Both were very vanilla. But Shane Beamer came out in his 13-minute conversation and says, we want Delp. I want David Cobb. He's coming up next. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Dave Woloshin and Brett Norsworthy take you home with Sports Time on Sports 56, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey, sports fans, if you're looking for auto body work for your car or truck, 3A Collision in Bartlett has you covered. We are factory certified with 13 different manufacturers, including GM, Ford, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Infiniti, Nissan, Acura, Honda, Hyundai, Kia, and Fiat. We're the only GM certified collision repair shop in the greater Memphis area. 3A Collision is proud to be voted Memphis Best Collision Repair by the Commercial Appeal 3 years in a row. 3A Collision specializes in performing proper repairs using specific manufacturer guidelines. We're a locally family-owned business, and we genuinely care about the well-being of our customers. Certified repairs are safe repairs. Why trust anyone but the best? At 3A Collision, no need for an appointment. We always have trained and courteous estimators available for you. 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. At 3A Collision, we're all about the best customer service and quality of our workmanship. 3A Collision, 6420 Summer Avenue.
Hey, Mid-South, it's time to trade up at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah during the Trade Up to a Kia sales event. Hey, what's happening over there, Jeff Allen?
We got it going on, and we're ready to help you trade up to your next Kia. I've got a 2022 Kia Soul, not a lease, and 0.9% APR, $289 a month. 2022 Kia Sportage, 0% APR, and only $365 a month. And if you want American-made, we got it with 2022 Kia K5 now, $374 a month.
Plus, every Gossett Kia comes with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty program.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah, 2680 Mount Moriah, or KiaMountMoriah.com.
All $29.99 down payment, 60 months, sold in 715-0981, 0.9% MSRP, $20,685. Sportage in 79,79,540, 0% MSRP, $26,060. K5 NGO 95054, 0.9% MSRP, $25,840. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 7/31/2021. Dealer stock only. Must finance through Kia on APR offer.
Farmers Insurance knows that there's a not-so-subtle difference between the sound of a car hitting your rear bumper and the sound of a clown car hitting your rear bumper.
Whoa! Sorry about that.
We call that a three-ring fender bender, and we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent.
They know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
With double the seasoned beef and a large drink all for $5, Taco Bell's Grande Nachos truly deserves a Grande intro, perhaps with a Grande beat box. Said it's crunchy, cheesy, beat. Actually, that sounded better in my head. Go get the $5 Grande Nachos before they make a every exit. Nope. Only at Taco Bell. At limited participating locations for a limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Tax extra. Drinks excludes freezes. Double the seasoned beef as compared to the Nachos Bel Grande.
Is there a room in your house that never seems to cool or heat the way you think it should? Then a Mitsubishi ductless system may be a solution for you. Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Ductless systems are relatively new to the United States, but Mitsubishi ductless systems are a proven energy saver because the system does not have any ductwork, so it can blow colder air in the summer and warmer air in the winter. Mitsubishi's inverter-driven compressors automatically adjust to your cooling or heating demands to deliver ideal comfort while only using the energy that is needed. No more, no less. Do you have a bonus room, sunroom, or master bedroom that never cools right? Maybe a new addition to your home or a garage you want heated or cooled. Now you can do it efficiently. Call Choates today at 755-4797 or visit our website at choateshvac.com to schedule your free estimate. And remember, Choates, let our family serve your family.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Yo, yo, yo! Welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. I'm fired up for so many reasons. We got football quickly approaching because once SEC Media Days roll into effect, it's the official kickoff of the season. People are down in Hoover. They're taking care of business. Brett Norsworthy's down there. He'll be joining us after David Cobb. Yesterday, you had Dan Mullen, Ed Orgeron, and, of course, Shane Beamer. Today, Kirby Smart, Mark Stoops, Lane Kiffin, and Josh Heupel. And I'm going to ask David Cobb, one of my first questions is Is Josh Heupel not look like a fat Justin Timberlake?
Yeah, he definitely doesn't look like a former Heisman Trophy runner-up at quarterback. Like, if you were like, yeah, that guy played tight end, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I can see that. Or defensive end even at this point. I mean, God bless him. But, yeah, UT has some great facilities, some treadmills just right downstairs from those coaches' offices. But you know what? He must just be so dedicated to doing what he's got to do that he can't even take the time to go use one of those things.
Yeah, I have to say, he just kind of let himself go, didn't he, after his playing days? The other thing I was going to say is, if he's not because Gabe disagrees. He's like, I don't see the some similarities. I'm like, if Justin Timberlake never got in Millington, started dating Britney Spears, did the boy band thing, became the JT we know, he would look just like, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're about the same age, too. I saw JT. I was watching that celebrity golf tournament the other day, and he was out there. And, man, he's like, north of 40 now, right? And
Yep.
Heupel's around that same age. So, actually, yeah, I dig the comparison there. That's kind of random, but spot on, to be quite honest.
Thank you very much. And by the way, do you know what Josh Heupel, I found out through SEC Media Days, his least favorite holiday is?
What is that?
Thanksgiving. He hates getting paired to the turkey neck.
That's brutal.
That
Wow.
was straight up brutal, bro. Because all I wanted to do was, like, the whole time I was listening to him, I was like going, just say gobble gobble once. Just say it once.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is David Cobb. You know him at CBSSports.com. You can read all of his stuff at CBSSports.com. You can follow him on Twitter at David W. Cobb. He joins me every single Tuesday at 1:30, and I appreciate that so much. Now, we got SEC Media Days going on. We do. You think I would start right there, but I don't want to start there, David. I want to start off with the ACC. Dabo Swinney. Why is he against college football expansion? I know you got an article coming out extremely soon. You're going to publish this bad boy quick, so if you want to read some in-depth action, check it out at CBS Sports Cobb. But first, tell me, how the heck does Dabo not like CFP expansion?
I mean, it's interesting because he kind of spoiled what I'm sure would have been one of the premier headlines of his appearance at ACC Media Days when he was talking to local reporters at Clemson today and said, yeah, we're really not in favor of this, college football playoff expansion. And it's interesting because he's one of the, obviously most high profile voices in the sport, but it's also not surprising at all because if you're talking about expanding to 12 teams, you're talking about making Clemson's path to a national title 1 or 2 games longer. You're talking about even if they do get one of those buys in a 12-team format, they're going to have to play 3 games in the playoffs instead of 2. And so I'm not surprised that they're not in favor of it because they've made 6 straight playoffs in the 4-team format. And so it was just interesting because I think it just puts Dabo
Is it because it's a longer road to hoe? And he feels like
sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And it puts Dabo further into this box that people are putting him in right now, which is him being a little bit of a knuckle dragger when it comes to adapting to college football change. I mean, people have used the fact that he, has been in the past an opponent of player compensation. They've used that against him,
Yep.
In recruiting with the NIL stuff now, and now he's kind of dragging his feet on adapting to the playoff expansion. And you know what? They don't take transfers either. And so that's the other big development right now is the prevalence of transferring and the fact that you can transfer once without sitting out, but they're not taking transfers. They're losing transfers, but they're not taking them. And so I think this is kind of a critical time for him. I think he might be starting to fall behind the times a little bit. And we'll see. I mean, obviously this program's still pretty dang good.
But hey, they lost Trevor Lawrence. Is DJ Uiagalelei going to be, the next Trevor Lawrence? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, how about this, John? Sorry, I'm on this Clemson rabbit trail right now, and I've had a lot of coffee. But Clemson doesn't have a backup quarterback right now because they've got DJ, but their backup, Tyson Pomacan or something to that effect.
Pro baseball.
He tore his Achilles.
Tore his ACL. Yeah, and the third-string guy quit the team to go play pro baseball.
For sure. And so they got another guy who's like a hybrid QB wide receiver as a prospect who I think is going to be their backup. But, even he is – they thought he was going to be more of a wide receiver, and he's only a 3-star prospect. So, I think Clemson's skating on thin ice, man. I mean, if they lose DJU, heaven forbid, or even if they have something happen like last year where due to COVID protocols when, Trevor Lawrence had to sit out, if something like that happens to DJ, man, I think Clemson could be in some real trouble real quick. I think their margin for error is much more slim than you would think for a program of that caliber.
Now, speaking of the program, do you think it's also kind of him poking a little bit of a shot at the ACC? Because let's say expansion happens, and I'm just looking at, the programs down there and their head coaches. If Clemson is not the face of the ACC, who is it right now? Is it Mack Brown in North Carolina? Is it Dave Dorn in North Carolina State? Is it, Florida State's not all that good anymore. I'm just saying, right now, if you look at the ACC, outside of Clemson, who's top heavy and kind of carrying that entire conference through football.
Yeah, it's a cakewalk for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Miami is in that conversation this year, North Carolina for sure. Those are the two. And honestly, the fact that you even have to bring up North Carolina State in that conversation, you're right to do it because they could be good. But the fact that we're talking about Dave Dorn and the Wolfpack in that conversation just shows you, where the heck is Virginia Tech? Where the heck is Florida State gone? We're still banking on a couple of our old Memphis buddies to get those programs turned around. And, it's a long uphill climb for both of them. So, Duke was good 5 or 6 years ago, winning double-digit games. Syracuse was giving Clemson a run for its money, in the not-too-distant past and actually upset them in a big moment. That's not happening anymore. And so, I don't blame Dabo for not wanting to play more games because they've pretty much got a red carpet rolled out for them that gets them to the playoff, even in a 4-team format every year. But, boy, I don't know. If I'm the ACC commissioner, I might have some words for Dabo because, fact is, I think Miami and North Carolina should be good enough, moving forward to make it in a 12-team format, and that would be so much better for the league than just getting Clemson in and everybody else being in. So I'll be curious to know if there's any back and forth there, because I'm sure the rest of the league sees it very differently than Dabo does.
I'm sure they absolutely do see it a little bit different than Dabo. Kind of since I'm on the ACC and I'm on that little talking wagon, you mentioned the Florida schools. Who's got a better chance of turning their program around, Manny Diaz in Miami or Mike Norvell in FSU?
Well, I think Miami's kind of already there because they got De'Aaron King back, and they lose some good guys.
You're not a Mackenzie Milton man.
I hope it works out. That would be great. The best story of the year in college football. If that guy can come back and be a player. But, it's just going to take Norvell a little while. I think Miami is just ahead right now of FSU's trajectory. And so, I think long-term, the support and the resources suggest that Florida State is better positioned for long-term success. But, in the short term, I think this season, I would expect Miami to be, a good bit ahead still of where Florida State is.
Do you think I'm going to switch back since we do have SEC Media Days going on down in Hoover, Alabama. By the way, we got some great sponsors. Brett Norsworthy is down there. All-Star Chevrolet and Olive Branch. Belly Acres, baby. Get your burger on. Golf Stick Pretzels. I'm going to bring some of those to you. They're the best pretzels I've ever had. Jason's Deli. Memphis Tourism Sports Council, Mossy Oak Golf Club, of course, Ronnie Grisani's, and now there's two of them. That's right, the Commissary, Germantown and Collierville. Mr. David Cobb, going to talk a little SEC football with you real quick, and I'm going to ask you, how does Nick Saban just do it? Because we talked about all the stuff that it seems like Dabo steps in, but he's still able to recruit. He still has some great athletes. Clemson's been a powerhouse, but it does seem like he's made some mistakes along the way. On the opposite end of that spectrum, it seems like Nick Saban never makes a mistake. Today on SEC Media Days, you saw, Chris Hummer for 247 Sports drop where, he's out there at a Texas High School Coaches Association convention on Tuesday, man. And he raises some eyebrows talking about name, image, and likeness and being like, hey, man, Bryce Young, he hadn't even played for us and he's going to get 7 figures. How smooth is Nick Saban?
Yeah, well, I saw that. I was actually going to bring that up. I'm glad you saw that as well. But, that's crazy, man. And he had another quote, too, at that same event today where he was talking and he was like, well, you got to adapt or die. There's a reason dinosaurs don't roam the earth anymore, or something to that effect.
He's good.
And I'm like, yo, that's a pretty groovy quote for 70-year-old Nick Saban. But it's true. And the fact that, I think there is a difference between him and Dabo because, like we talked about at the top, there's all these things that Dabo is resistant to. And I think it's going to catch up with him at some point because he seems to be clinging on to a version of the past that is rapidly becoming the past. And Nick, at age 70, is continuing to evolve and grow who he is as a coach. And, the fact that his quarterback is, about to sign or has signed something close to $1 million deal, and the fact that he's pretty much okay with it is,
it sounds like
really
he's bragging to me.
Yeah, I
like,
know,
dude,
right? It's kind of an example of why he is so good, because I'm sure 15, 20 years ago that would have been unfathomable to him or something that he would have bristled at. But he's recognized that, I got to embrace this change and roll with it. And to his credit, I think he needs to write a book that college basketball coaches could benefit from because, I think that college basketball coaches are going through it now probably more so than anyone. Because of all the changes around the recruiting process, with all the other options that prospects have, with all the, I think basketball coaches in particular are going to be really grappling with all this and the transferring and stuff. And they could take a page from the Nick Saban playbook and say, hey, I'm going to keep adapting. I mean, look at Roy Williams and Mike Krzyzewski. I mean, yeah, they were getting on up there, but I don't think it's a coincidence that they're retiring right now. I think they're retiring right now because of all the changes that we're seeing. Coming at this stage in their careers, whereas Nick Saban's just like, yeah, bring it on. We can rock with change. Change is nothing to be afraid of.
Man, the times they are a change, and I heard from Greg Sankey. Nick Saban seems like he's cool with the times, and he's always on top of things. It seems like Mark Emmert concedes that the NCAA should have a bare minimum role as college sports. You can read that at cbssports.com. Coming up soon, David Cobb's going to drop a story about Dabo and basically how he doesn't like the CFP expansion. You got a little sneak preview, but I'm going to give you a little sneak preview. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
At 2 o'clock, I'm going to play a clip. Did you know Jeff Bezos and his Blue O or Blue Origin went to space today?
Oh, no, I had no idea.
Yeah, they went to space, man. But you know what? His rocket looks just like well, basically, what does Jeff Bezos and Dr. Evil have in common? Wait till 2 o'clock and you can listen. Or if you want, David Cobb, go and check it out on YouTube. There's a great clip. Thank you to Gabe Kuhn. David, have a great Tuesday. Thank you for all your help. And just enjoy life, bro.
All right, man. You do the same.
I will. That's my buddy David Cobb of CBSSports.com. Follow him on Twitter at David W. Cobb. Coming up next, we got Brett Norsworthy, and we're going down to SEC Media Days on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solution.
I'm Brian Elder. The great Kimmons Wilson of Holiday Inn had a slogan: the best surprise is no surprise. And that's so true. When I sit at your kitchen table, you're going to understand exactly what I'm going to do to your roof. From the underlayment to the hip shingles and ventilation, the flashing, the wood repairs, the cleanup, the crew safety, the warranty. It's amazing how many customers sign contracts being told none of that stuff. But the best surprise is no surprise. Insurance claims. Talk to your friends. More and more claims are being rejected, and only experienced claims specialists are getting those terrible decisions overturned. So if you don't hire me, please hire someone to manage the process with the experience to see it through. The best surprise is no surprise. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Start your engines, Mid-South. Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike is ready for the Enjoy Your Summer Style sales event. Get plenty of pulling power and more standard features than Mazda CX-5 and Ford Escape in your new 2022 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, $229 a month. And hit the road in a 7-passenger 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander. We Gossett at $259 a month. All powered by our stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So don't miss the Enjoy Your Summer Style sales event at Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at
All 500 military rebate, 750 loyalty rebate, 48 months, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Outlander NZO 166.72, MSRP 29,480. Cross NC 003186, MSRP 27,725. Includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 7/31/2021. Dealer stock only.
There's a new commissary in town. In Collierville, Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levee Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking. No telephone pole to get in your way. A cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy at Johnny Radio, and I'm so blessed to be joined by my good friend Brett Stats Norsworthy. He's on 3 to 6 Monday through Friday right here on Sports Time. And I'll tell you one thing, he's down in Hoover, Alabama. SEC Media Days is in full effect. Yesterday we had Florida, LSU, South Carolina. Today, Georgia, Kentucky, Ole Miss, and Tennessee. First question, a hard-hitting journalism question for Mr. Brett Stats Norsworthy. Does Josh Heupel look like Justin Timberlake with 40 pounds?
Maybe so. He doesn't look like he did when he played at OU, and he was a good ball player. Runner-up for the Heisman Trophy in 2000 on a national championship winning team for Big Game Bob Stoops. Big Game Bob Stoops' only national title came in his second year. They thought he was going to win 4 or 5 or 6 of them. That was it. They're hard to win. They're like those golf majors, just 4 a year, just 1 a year in college football. Used to be 2 when we had UPI and AP and everybody could claim 1, but just 1 now. But he has put on a little tonnage, yes.
He sure has, but he does look like Justin. Oh, well, we all have, but to me, it looks like if Justin Timberlake never got out of Millington, Josh Heupel is his doppelganger. It's just, it's great. Perfect. But you brought up Big Game Bob Stoops. Mark Stoops down there spoke today. Yeah. Kentucky's supposed to be really good in the East. I'm going to talk some Tennessee Vols fans out there. I'm going to talk some Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin and Georgia. But I want to know because Mark Stoops seems like he's done a better job at coaching a bad program than anybody before him. I mean, Kentucky, Hal Mummy days, I guess. I can't think of just Kentucky football where they were rocking and rolling. And Mark Stoops has the Kentucky Wildcats rolling in football.
Herculean effort accomplished at the ultimate basketball school in a small state with Louisville from the ACC right there in the state with you. Not a lot of great recruits. It goes back a long time. When Paul Bear Bryant couldn't get Paul Horning out of Flagey High School, that was one of the many reasons the Bear wanted to get out of Kentucky and head to A&M. It's always been tough for them. And Mark Stoops has made a tough job look a little easier at the ultimate basketball school, and he's now second in seniority in current tenure of SEC coaches, only behind Nick Saban. Who had that in the seniority pool? Nobody. And it looks like he can stay about as long as he wants. You just wonder if he won 8 or 9 or 10, and he did a few years ago. What kind of job would he leave for? I don't know that he would. He seems very Midwestern, a little bit like Tom Allen at Indiana. Both of those guys, if at the end of the year Michigan has to do something, and they don't want to just win the press conference and to have the big wowie zowie name, Tom Allen and Mark Stoops for just going out there and coaching ball might be what you want. Now with the allegations and the innuendo out of Michigan, it's very hard to make this comparison without really kind of getting the creeps. Yes. But if we keep it just to a football concept, and that's hard to do with everything going on, wouldn't Tom Allen or Mark Stoops on the football field as a coach, as a football coach, wouldn't they kind of fit the Bo mold?
Yep. They sure would. They sure as heck would.
But it's hard to even have a football
say,
conversation around
Dr. Robert Anderson and all the stuff out there. It is hard. It is such a shame.
And it's a little bit like Joe Pa. You can't even think fondly anymore, Joe Paterno. You can't.
Nope. It's just
what
crazy.
A shame.
It's such a shame.
And the biggest shame is for the victims, not for their legacy.
That is exactly the truth. I feel so sorry for them, but I got to tell you something. We got to also talk about some, COVID-19 situation. You heard Greg Sankey on day one come out.
You're going to hear him at 4:30 with us, too.
Oh, today you're going to hear Sankey today at 4:30 with you instead? I mean, Wolo?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Greg Sankey, SEC Commissioner, joining them at 4:30. Don't you dare miss that. It's going to be right here on Sports 56 98.5 FM. And don't forget sports56whbq.com. Brett, I got to ask you, because COVID is still Kevin Warren almost wrecked the Big Ten last year.
Tried to derail college football.
But Greg Sankey always seems like he's proactive, not reactive. He comes out yesterday, makes his statements. He wants, the league to get vaccinated, et cetera, And then Kirby Smart today hits the podium and basically says the Bulldogs are at 85% vaccinated.
Take that, boys.
Yes. That's huge.
There's your benchmark. It is. And, and John, we're past the hesitancy crowd. We're now into the resistance crowd. I don't think anything's going to I don't think you can pay them. I don't think you can give them beer. I don't think you can give them cash. Look, they're just going to have to learn. And at some point, the rest of us have to move on. And I go back to the original days, the whole mask controversy, and it was a PSA out there. If you think a mask looks goofy, try a ventilator. Well, if you think something today, there's two groups of people. The healthy are the ones that got the vaccine, and the ones that are dying from COVID are the ones that didn't. So you make your own decision. I'm not preaching at anybody. Do your own thing. It's America. You can, but I'm going to do mine, and I'm going to live my life.
I am right there with you, and I also want to bring this up because, again, I'm not for government-mandated vaccine, because once you start there, I have no idea where you draw the line. But I am for what is it, evolution, where the smart survive and the idiots don't.
Well, there you go. And you have to. So life is about choices. But you say mandate. I know that's a loaded word. I know that it is. But I had to start first grade. I had to have my shots.
That's where I was going.
You have to leave the country. I get a flu vaccine every September. I get a pneumonia shot about every 5 or 6 years. I got a shingles shot about 6 years ago, and I did it for preventative maintenance. I know everybody's dads taught them this. Really cheap insurance, oil changes, tires, and windshield wipers. And that's what I call it with shops. Now, the engine overhaul was the COVID vaccine.
Mm-hmm. It was. And the reason I bring this up is because considering all that college sports have at stake this year, I could actually see conferences getting together and actually requiring vaccines. And we have to remember, right now, these are still non-union sports. They're not collectively bargained. So if you go out there and make a mandate,
but you can put them on an island if they don't relent, if they don't come to heel, then you can all but ostracize them. You can almost put them. Here's another really, really loaded word. You can almost treat them as a leper colony.
Yes, you can. It's going to be.
That is a loaded word.
That is a loaded word. But right now, it looks like we have 6 teams from the rumors that are coming out that 6 SEC teams are already 80% or better vaccinated. Georgia set the bar high at over 85%.
I think we need to tell who it is.
Oh, go right ahead.
Oh no, I don't know.
I don't know either. I know Georgia.
But I think people should be out there really using it as a cudgel against other teams that we've got our shots. You don't. I know this week we've had great Media Day sponsors like the official car of SEC Media Days provided by our friends at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Go see Scott. Go see Drew. Go see the team down there. Belly Acres, Golf Sticks Pretzels, Jason's Deli, Memphis Tourism Sports Council, Mossy Oak Golf Club, Ronnie Grisanti's, and the commissary, 2 of them in Germantown and Collierville. And at Ronnie Grisanti's, since 1909, the first name in Italian food, it's Ronnie Grisanti's in Regalia. Lunch, dinner, catering, home delivery, all your favorites. Check out the bulk menu at RonnieGrisanti.com. Curbside pickup, delivery to your door, and free within 4 miles of Regalia. The Miss Mary's salad, ravioli, steaks, all the good stuff. Great bar and cool drinks. In High Point Grocery, super low in Spotswood and on Goodman Road, and in Buster's Liquors. Make lunch or dinner easy and delicious at Ronnie Grisanti's, a Memphis tradition since 1909.
Oh my goodness, Brett, you're with the Ole Miss Network, and I got to ask you, how's the mood of Lane Kiffin? What about Matt Corral? How are everything going with the Ole Miss Rebels?
It's going well. They've arrived, and it's going well. And second SEC Media Days ever for Lane Kiffin, and second SEC Media Days ever for Matt Corral. Matt Corral was here 2 years ago with the record of 0-0 as a starting quarterback before that loss to the Tigers 15-10 on opening day in 2019.
Brett, that's absolutely amazing. Don't forget, today you can hear Greg Sankey as he joins Wolo and Stats on Sports Time at 4:30. Again, thanks to all of our sponsors, and thanks to you, Brett Stats Norsworthy. I appreciate you so much. I'll talk to you tomorrow at 1:45.
Love you, John. Thank you.
That's my brother, Brett Stats Norsworthy. We got to come back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. But first, I have to remind you one more time, we got great sponsors for Hoover, Alabama. But don't forget my buddy, Mr. Chad Gatlin at MemphisFarmers.com. He gave you the whole first hour. He's going to take care of you in your time of need. Just go to MemphisFarmers.com. Check out everything on their website. You can get a free quote right now, or you can call them at 901-235-1176. It's that time of the year where you might want to go on vacation. Don't forget, you need traveler's insurance. Don't forget you need your car insured, your business, your life. Hey, did you know that you can insure your pets? You can do it all at MemphisFarmers.com with the Gatlin agencies. Call them at 901-235-1176. And plus, they'll help you with your business goals, paying for your children's educations, saving, investing for your future so you're financially secure. Check out Chad Gatlin again at MemphisFarmers.com. We're coming back on the other side. Me and Gabe Kuhn are going to explain to you what it is that Jeff Bezos has in common with Dr. Evil. Oh, yes, it's going to be a great clip. Plus, we have Hardwood because it just feels so dead-gum good. We'll be back in 2 shakes. This is Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Someone in my head, but it's not me. Under the cloud presence.
It's time to trade up to a Kia sales event at Gossett Kia on Covington Pike. Get up and go in a 2021 Kia Rio 41 MPG Highway 0% and $239 a month. 2021 Kia Forte 0% and $268 a month. And get all-weather rugged and ready in 2022 Seltos $334 a month. Plus peace of mind with Kia's 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Get top dollar for your Kia trade today and trade up at Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike, or shop online 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J and he'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All $29.99 due at signing. Rio Forte 60 months at 0%. Rio ME 403.610. MSRP 17,315. Forte ME 379,469. MSRP 19,040. Seltos N 724 718 166 months at 1.9%. MSRP 24,110. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 must finance with KMF or low APR. Excludes tax file and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8/2/2021. Dealer stock only.
Don't miss the savings during Lowe's Just for Pros event. Stop by the Pro Desk and get an extra 5% off volume savings orders over $1,500. Plus, look for more savings across the store, including tools, paint, lighting, and other pro essentials to help you get the job done right. Shop today at Lowe's, the new home for pros. Discount on eligible product only and reflected in quote. Terms and exclusions apply. See Pro Desk in store for details. Now through July 30th. U.S. only.
Hey, sports fans, if you're looking for auto body work for your car or truck, 3A Collision in Bartlett has you covered. We are factory certified with 13 different manufacturers, including GM, Ford, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Infiniti, Nissan, Acura, Honda, Hyundai, Kia, and Fiat. We're the only GM certified collision repair shop in the greater Memphis area. 3A Collision is proud to be voted Memphis Best Collision Repair by the Commercial Appeal 3 years in a row. 3A Collision specializes in performing proper repairs using specific manufacturer guidelines. We're a locally family-owned business, and we genuinely care about the well-being of our customers. Certified repairs are safe repairs. Why trust anyone but the best? At 3A Collision, no need for an appointment. We always have trained and courteous estimators available for you. 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. At 3A Collision, we're all about the best customer service and quality of our workmanship. 3A Collision, 6420 Summer Avenue.
Hey, Mid-South, it's time to trade up at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah during the Trade Up to a Kia sales event. Hey, what's happening over there, Jeff Allen?
We got it going on, and we're ready to help you trade up to your next Kia. I've got a 2022 Kia Soul, not a lease, and 0.9% APR, $289 a month. 2022 Kia Sportage, 0% APR, and only $365 a month. And if you want American-made, we got it with 2022 Kia K5 now, $374 a month.
Plus, every Gossett Kia comes with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty program.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah, 2680 Mount Moriah, or KiaMountMoriah.com.
All $29.99 down payment, 60 months, sold in 715-0981, 0.9% MSRP, $20,685. Sportage in 79.79.540, 0% MSRP, $26,060. K5 NGO 950.54, 0.9% MSRP, $25,840. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 7/31/2021. Dealer stock only. Must finance through Kia on APR offer.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy at Johnny Radio. Always lucky to be hanging out with my buddy Gabe Kuhn. Follow Gabe at G_Kuhn71. Follow me at Johnny_Radio. Don't forget to message us on Facebook. Watch us on YouTube, Twitch, and at Sports 56. And if you want to, you can use our telephone line, 901-360-8255, to text me. Gabe, are we a caller? Do we take a lot of calls? No, we don't.
Not generally, but I'll,
If
you have a good call, we'll take it.
Man, Greg Gaston was going to call yesterday. He was this close. He was mad because I was making fun of him going to see Space Jam.
By the way, I saw Space Jam 2 last night.
No, you did not.
At my house. He didn't. By the way, he didn't go to see it. It's on HBO Max.
What?
Yes, for a limited time.
I got HBO Max. I got the what do you call it? The Holy-ish package.
Go watch it.
No, I'm good. I'm actually good on that one.
Then we can have a debate tomorrow. Who was the better actor, MJ or LeBron?
You know what? Now I might actually watch it just to say that MJ.
Well, we know
better.
you have a built-in answer anyway.
I guess I do have a built-in answer. Speaking of built-in, Jeff Bezos is trying to show the world what he's got. We're going to explain to you in just a minute about what is going on with him and Dr. Evil. But before that, I got to remind you, Hardwood today. I got John Daly. Why he's a different kind of athlete, Gabe Kuhn. Do you want to aspire to be like Tom Brady, who's cutting jokes on the White House lawn with Mr. President Joe Biden, who's got 7 championships, who's a baller shot caller, married to a supermodel, despite having the worst dad bod, other than who's got the worst dad bod in football right now? Gabe Kuhn, your question. Plays for the New England Patriots, came from Alabama.
Mac Jones.
Oh, do you think Matt Jones is going to actually get is Mr. Jones going to get a supermodel wife or a Kardashian? I don't know, man.
Aren't we running out of Kardashians that are on the open market?
I don't know.
We
about
just
that.
added Kim back to it, right? Kim's on the open
Kim's
market.
free right now. Yeah, she left Kanye. So, yeah, dude, I could see. Man, could you imagine Mac Jones?
Isn't that an
and
age
Kim
difference,
K?
though, for Mac Jones and Kim K?
He's still an athlete, right?
Yes.
She likes athletes, and usually athletes are young. I mean, come on. You think this new venture she's doing with the Olympics? The Olympics
Mac
don't even
Jones
have
can
it.
teach her the Patriot way.
You're right. He could. If he learns the Patriot way. He hadn't been there that long. But we're going to talk a little NFL football. We're going to also talk about coronavirus and the aspect of what Greg Sankey said, and also the AAC, the American Athletic Conference. If you didn't know, it kind of hurt my feelings since we are the University of Memphis. We're in Memphis, Tennessee, and we're part of it. They're talking about forfeitures. That's right. Because of COVID-19, if your team cannot play and it's your team's fault that the game will not go on, we use Cincinnati as a great example. If they started if they went undefeated and they beat Notre Dame and everybody in front of them, what would happen if then all of a sudden they're playing Temple and they're the reason they have a couple outbreaks and all of a sudden they can't play and you give them a loss? That hurts the AAC. That hurts Cincinnati. That hurts people for an invisible virus. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Gabe Kuhn has a great take on it. But before we do that, I know everybody's been waiting on it. I mean, I'm getting texts left and right. What does Jeff Bezos and Dr. Evil have in common? Well, Gabe Kuhn, are you ready to give it to him?
Look out of starboard. Oh my God, it looks like a huge...
Pecker!
Oh, yeah.
Wait, that's not a woodpecker. It looks like someone's...
Privates! We have reports of an unidentified flying object. It is a long, smooth shaft, complete with two balls.
What is that? That looks just like an enormous...
Wang, pay attention.
I was distracted by that enormous flying...
Willie. Yeah. What's that?
Well, it looks like a giant...
Wiener? Any of you kids want another wiener?
Dad? What's that?
I don't know, son, but it's got great big...
Nuts! Salty nuts! Who wants some? Lord Almighty!
That looks just like my husband's.
One-eyed monster! Step right up and see the one-eyed monster!
Hey, what's that? It looks like a big...
Woody! Woody Harrelson? Can I have your autograph?
Sure, no problem. Oh, my Lord. Look at that thing.
So big.
I've seen bigger. That's...
Thank you so much, Gabe Kuhn. That is from Austin Powers, and that's when Dr. Evil took his rocket into space. And I would tell you one thing. When they were like, it's a big, huge Willie, and they're talking to Willie Nelson, that killed me. And then it was like, well, what is that? And he's like, wiener. And he's got the dorky dad who's got the hot dog.
Anybody else want another wiener?
Anybody else want another
Okay, but
wiener?
no, in all reality, they could have... Jeff Bezos could have thought better on what the Blue Origin was going to look like.
Well,
I mean, come on.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think he might have thought really hard about it.
Love it.
But why does Richard Branson's his space machine look like an airplane, like I don't know, alien spacecraft? I don't know. It looks pretty dope. But I will tell you one thing again: to put a gigantic Blue O up into space the way that Jeff Bezos is, do you think he just came up to his architects and said, hey, take a picture, make it 1,000 times bigger? I don't know what happened, but Bezos is rich. Do you think that's why he got divorced?
I'm not here to speculate on that, Johnny.
Look, I am not. Never mind. Anyway, the billionaire race to space is on effect. And by the way, Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos, both of them currently say that they're going to charge people $250,000.
They're going against some real stiff competition.
They are. Let me tell you something. Somebody's going to get shafted. And I think anybody who pays $250K to go up there for 5 minutes to be like weightless. Did you know like for $20 you can go around the corner? I'm sure you can buy something that's going to make you feel that way. I mean, this is crazy. $250K to go to space for 5 minutes. And by the way, where do you go in space? Just barely up in there. And you're just like kind of looking over at the curvature of the earth going, Kyrie, you've been wrong the whole time. The earth ain't flat. Like, what's going on, man? This world is crazy, but it is time to get to a little bit of sports. We're going to go back to some NFL talk here in a little bit. We got to talk about what happened to Cam Akers. We got Melvin Ingram going to Pittsburgh, plus Tom Brady's at the White House. But before we get to that, I want to talk about what is going on with basically Greg Sankey, who spoke on it yesterday at the first opening days of SEC Media Day, talked about how important it is for teams to get vaccinated. Basically came out and said that, Greg Spanky, I got Jeff Bezos on the head. When Greg Sankey speaks, a lot of us should listen. He's not somebody who pulls a whole bunch of, punches. And when he talked at length about the need for vaccinations, I understand exactly what he's talking about. Remember, Sankey sits there with Bill Hancock, the executive director of college football, is probably the dudes that wield the biggest stick, if you know what I'm saying, Gabe Kuhn. They have the most power in college football. Mark Emmert has already admitted that the NCAA needs to back things off. They don't have a whole lot of power, et cetera, et cetera. So when Greg speaks, I think it's important. And right now, when the SEC looks like they're leading and they already have 6 teams that are over 80% vaccinated, it kind of makes me wonder why it is that the AAC is talking about forfeiture. But I somewhat kind of understand because you do hold your own cards. But here's what I also wanted to say. How many people have not watched Jane Pauley in Sunday Morning News last week? Right now, do you know the biggest spreader of COVID? Do you know who the biggest spreader of COVID is right now?
Not off the top of my head. Is it vaccinated folks?
It's vaccinated asymptomatic people who don't even know that they're carrying COVID because they've been vaccinated. So they're not sick. They're asymptomatic. They're out there. You know what they're doing? They're chilling like villains. They're hanging out at bars. They're going to restaurants. They're eating at Bellyacres or Central Barbecue or Ronnie Grizzani's. They're riding in some All-Star Chevrolets. They're eating golf stick pretzels and sharing them with their unvaccinated friend. And guess what happens? They spread the virus. So if you are vaccinated, you can still test positive. And if they're testing all the time, things might happen. And now if you're saying, Greg Sankey comes out and says, you need to get vaccinated. Well, if everybody's vaccinated and you're like the New York Yankees, 6 players, if you remember coming out of the All-Star break, 6 New York Yankees players tested positive for COVID. 5 of them were vaccinated. 5. So again, you can get vaccinated, still test positive for COVID, and then all of a sudden the NCAA is going to come in there and punish you and make you forfeit a game. I call that a load of BS.
And if you'll remember, when we talk about NC State, remember they got kicked out of the College World Series. Yes, they had 9 cases of unvaccinated players testing positive. But of the 13, 4 of them
were vaccinated.
We're vaccinated players. So, the breakthroughs are happening, and people think it's super rare. It's not necessarily rare. Now, the one thing I will say, if you do get to 80%, 85%, whatever these conferences set their threshold of vaccinated players at, you will get tested less. That doesn't mean the testing goes away altogether. That's not. People have a misconception about that. You don't have to wear a mask, yes, but the testing is not going away. It's going down drastically for vaccinated players, but it's not going away. So you could still have positives and breakthroughs with vaccinated players. Now, I understand the thought of forfeiture and the thought that you're trying to create a punishment worthy of not getting vaccinated. You're trying to get these players, get these teams on board with vaccinations. Now, Johnny, you know for a fact, there are always going to be people on a team within a population that do not want to get vaccinated. That's life. And I hate to say it, I want those people to get vaccinated. I don't think they have a good reason to not get vaccinated, but there will always be certain people that do not get the vaccination.
Isn't it called survival of the fittest?
Yes, it is. But
sometimes now just the smartest.
We don't want people to get hurt. But here's my, first of all, can you not find another better way to punish teams that are not getting vaccinated? Can you not find a better thing to do? Test them every day.
Okay, can I ask you something?
Make them go through the ringer. Make them travel by bus. Do things to punish them without making it a forfeiture. That's where I would start. Think about those things. But if you do this forfeiture thing, are you going to find a way to set parameters to protect teams that are a certain amount vaccinated? Because it's still possible. If you're 75%, 80% vaccinated, it's still positive that you may not be able to field a team that week. Like that's what
yes.
That's possible. That could happen. Possible. Are you protecting those teams from forfeiture? Are you? Because if you're not, I'm not on board. Because people are misconstruing the fact that breakthroughs are happening. And yes, they're more rare than people that are unvaccinated getting COVID-19. But breakthroughs have been happening, and it is very possible that even a team that meets the requirement for vaccinations on their team can be out a week because a position group's down because they don't have enough players to field a certain position group. It's still possible.
Got a question. Are you more shocked that Greg Sankey quoted Bob Dylan's "The Times They Are Changing" or the fact that I brought up Darwin in Survival of the Fittest? Which one's more shocking? Are you just surprised I know who Darwin is?
Yeah, it's probably my more surprising thing today. And also, can I mention this? Because this is what the NFL is doing. I don't know if people are familiar with the NFL's forfeiture policy, because they do have one this year. If a player violates protocol, NFL protocol, then that team, and it causes a outbreak within the team, then that team is eligible and could forfeit a game. Why don't we do the same thing? If someone breaks protocol, if you don't have guys showing up to their tests that are unvaccinated, if you have guys that are going to parties, doing the wrong things when they're away from the facility, then they could be up for forfeiture. Why not then make them up for forfeiture? But if they're doing everything they're supposed to and they're not vaccinated and they're showing up to their tests and they're trying to do everything the right way even without being vaccinated, I don't understand why we're leaving it up for a possible forfeiture. And I guess it's from me being on a team. I know that there's certain beliefs that not a lot of people necessarily share, and vaccines is one of those things. If I was part of the 70% on my team that got vaccinated and the 30% ruined it for me, don't you feel bad for the 70% who tried to do the right thing?
Yes, I do.
Like, isn't that unfair to them? So
are you going as far as Michael Irvin? That's right, the playmaker. Or are you going to fight your teammates?
I would be mad at them.
You'd be very angry.
I'd be angry with them, but I just don't. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair in the slightest to punish the majority for the lack of empathy and the minority being dumb about getting their vaccines.
I have a take on this one, and I have to say I don't like the fact that you're punishing somebody in a global pandemic for getting sick, one way or the other. Period. Again, we've got to have college football.
Can I ask you this? If they're not doing the right things, if they're not showing up to their tests,
that's what I was about
and then
to
they
go.
show up, they're not wearing masks when they get in the facility and they're unvaccinated, then I don't feel bad for you. You deserve what's coming to you. But if you're following the protocol that's set forth by your conference, by your school, then I don't know why you should be punished.
I feel what you're saying, but it's like COVID ain't like herpes, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you get your punishment for life. You know what's going on. COVID can kill you. There's certain things and certain activities that you might partake in that are higher risk than others. The thing about COVID is this isn't a high-risk thing. This is just going out in public or maybe going home or going to your job or maybe your kid goes to school and comes home and gets it from school. Oh, I mean, and I know we're talking about college kids. College kids have kids. Trust me, I know about this. Had a kid when I was in college. Work hard, play hard.
And it's interesting because I want everyone to get the vaccine. I want everyone
do too.
I absolutely want. I want 100% of people to get vaccinated. I do, but I just know that's not the reality of the situation.
Were you scared before you got the vaccine? Me and both of us got vaccinated extremely early. And
as soon as I could. As soon as it was offered to me, I went and did it.
I got it even before you. But what I'm saying though is, did like somebody that you know having it, did it make you? Did it help you to know that I had it? Like, hey, I'm fine. I'm still here.
I mean, yeah, and also to see the numbers in general.
Just to see the numbers.
The fact that it's nearly 98, 99% effective against COVID-19, that was enough for me.
Perfect.
Whatever got us out of the quarantine, what got us out of the pandemic is what I wanted to do. But I just this forfeiture.
So you
sort
don't
of
like what
strong
Mike
arming
Oresco's talking about, right?
This forfeiture strong arming going on right now. I'm not on board with forfeiting.
I'm not on board with it either.
If you add a certain thing that says if guys break protocol, then they could be up for forfeiture. Fine, I can understand that. But just to say if a team cannot field a team that week, they have to forfeit. I'm not okay with that. I don't think that that's fair in any way, shape, or form, and I don't think that's how we should approach this.
All right. Now, also, on the other side of the spectrum, not the college kind, we have the NFL. Lots of news coming out of the NFL. One of the things that's coming down, have you heard about the NFL for years have been concerned about a federal agency on gambling. Been very, very concerned. You got Ken Stabler, there's a bunch of dudes out there who've been accused of things. The 1946 NFL championship, they thought there was a little bit of some mischief going on. Fixing games has been going back again to 1946. You have 1951. You had the 70s. You had the 78. You had, of course, Ken Stabler, 15 times convicted. Was hanging out with the bookmaker, Nick Dudich. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. Now that gambling has basically come to the forefront, we have gambling shows on TV. Gabe Kuhn, me and you have a bet. Basically the over-under on the Steelers. Are you concerned about your sports wagering? Let's just say that there's a certain quarterback, not named Aaron Rodgers, who could be like super rich or whatever, but just a very average quarterback. The starting quarterback gets injured the week before. This dude who's making only like $2 million a year, somebody comes to him and says, hey, I'll give you $6-7 million, throw this game. Are you concerned that that stuff's going to happen more in the future because gambling is now so pervasive? Or do you think, like some people, that there needs to be a federal agency to basically do nothing but investigate gaming and gambling?
I think both of those things are, first of all, the first part of that concern, yes, I do believe that. You look at Wimbledon, you look at tennis. Did
yes,
you see
it's happening
news,
big time.
The news that has happened from tennis,
it's
the
easier
tennis
to
world.
fix a match there, though.
I know, but the news that's coming out of there is a lot of fixing.
Yeah,
there was one in 2020. A woman was
She
arrested
just got convicted.
and convicted. There was one very recently.
There's 3 matches this year
where
in Wimbledon under investigation.
they had an exact score of a set that was bet on by a bunch of people, and they got massive odds, and they're investigating that in tennis. So I think that fixing is something you have to keep your eye on with how prevalent betting is. And 2, yes, you need to have that. And I think a lot of major sporting leagues and promotions are starting to get people in their corner that investigate these things. So I think we're heading in the direction already of having people overseeing the bets that are being placed.
I think that, one, I don't know if we necessarily need a federal agency. Maybe the NFL can chip in on this. But, I mean, remember former Colts and Rams owner Carl Rosenblum? He had a long history of gambling. He invested in a Cuban casino in the late 50s. And remember, he allegedly bet millions of dollars against his own team. Of course, his team lost. He made millions of dollars. My question is, though, is today, like we know when Mattress Mac makes a big bet, like it feels like the gaming situation, like if there is a line that starts moving one way and it just goes absolutely crazy, do they not call attention to it? I don't know if we need a federal agency, but I will say something that as a sports gambler, it's something that I pay attention to. And so does my buddy Mitch Henderson, because, buddy, he hit a 7-game parlay yesterday. Man, he put like $50 on that bad boy to win like $4,000. Yeah.
Tell him throw us a 20 or something.
Dude, I just told him right now, you better send me every single pick you get, man. I'm telling you right now, sports gambling is the real deal. Holyfield, I love to gamble. We all love to gamble. We love talking sports. SEC Media Days is in full effect. Don't forget, you know what else we love around here? Tito's Vodka. Yep, Tito's is crafted right here in Austin, Texas, in the United States. When life hands you lemons, make a dead gum lemon drop. Just make sure it's with Tito's handmade vodka. It's slightly sweet with a black pepper note. It balances everything out. Doesn't matter if you're crafting a cocktail or you're drinking it neat. Tito's handmade vodka is simply the best. We'll be back with Hardwood on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world at sports56whbq.com or on the Sports 56 app.
It's time to trade up to a Kia sales event at Gossett Kia on Covington Pike. Get up and go in a 2021 Kia Rio 41 MPG Highway 0% and $239 a month. 2021 Kia Forte 0% and $268 a month. And get all-weather rugged and ready in 2022 Seltos $334 a month. Plus peace of mind with Kia's 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Get top dollar for your Kia trade today and trade up at Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike, or shop online 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J and he'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All $29.99 due at signing. Rio Forte 60 months at 0%. Rio ME 403.16. MSRP 17,315. Forte ME 379,469. MSRP 19,040. Seltos N 724 718 166 months at 1.9%. MSRP 24,110. Includes all rebates and incentives. DF 695 must finance with KMF or low APR. Excludes tax file and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8/2/2021. Dealer stock only.
Golf enthusiast, looking for new golf greens? Got it. New and exciting Cypress View Golf and Recreation, just over the Mississippi River in Marion, Arkansas. Cypress View Golf and Recreation. Absolutely gorgeous. Your first tee, you're looking at cypress trees a mile long in between a small lake. Give it your best shot. Feel like you're on vacation. Located just over the bridge at 303 Club Circle in Marion, Arkansas. It's the new semi-private pro golf club. Cypress View Golf and Recreation has a new golf pub with tons of new food items for breakfast and lunch. Choose from Philly cheesesteak sandwich, homemade fresh hand-patted burgers, and Nathan's hot dogs, flatbreads, quesadillas, summer salads, and more. Take advantage of Cypress View Golf and Recreation's new membership for unlimited golf, 7 days a week, only $199 plus tax. Call Pro Mark today at 870-739-6305 at Cypress View Golf and Recreation.
Hey, it's your friend Rick Dees in the morning. This is kind of drastic, but could you do me a favor? I'd like you to call your present real estate agent and say,
I can't wait to fire you.
And hire Bubba Sandifer with Emmett Baird as number one. You probably are getting the worst price possible with that other agent. Bubba will change that. Bubba, thank you for selling my house. Now let Bubba Sandifer sell yours. Just go to heybubbare.com. I can also give you Bubba's private telephone number in the 901-319-0747. That's 319-0747. Just go to heybubbare.com. Let Bubba do for you what he did for me. He'll sell your home or buy one for you. heybubare.com. Will you do that, please? Are you calling Bubba right now?
I am, yes.
heybubare.com.
Hey everybody, ready for a new Chevy or pre-owned Chevy? Olive Branch is where you want to be. All-Star Chevy has new Silverados and Tahoes coming in. And if you're ready to sell your car, truck, or SUV, All-Star Chevy will buy it, even if you owe on it, and even if you don't buy one of theirs. Or you could just bring the title and get your check today. Spread the word, people. Remember, it's not South Haven, not Collierville, not Mount Moriah or the Pike, it's Olive Branch. So find new roads to Olive Branch and All-Star Chevrolet, or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. My boy Bill Withers is bringing us back. Gabe Coons in the house. We got a great show for you. Had a great show for you. We got to hear a little Austin Powers compared Jeff Bezos' rocket to Dr. Evil's rocket. That was a lot of fun. We had Brett Norsworthy, who's live down in Hoover. Yes, SEC Media Days is in full effect tonight. Game 6 of the NBA Finals. You got the Bucks and the Suns. Can the Bucks win 4 in a row after falling down 0-2 to the Suns? And I thought the West was the best, as Jim Morrison put it, but I don't know right now. It looks like Giannis, the Greek Freak, is a baller shot caller. If Chris Middleton just shows up, if Drew Holiday just plays a little bit good, which he's been playing a lot of good lately, looks like the Bucks going to close this joint out tonight. We'll talk about that later as well. But we got some funny things to talk about. We got to talk about Norway's handball team, Gabe. Norway's handball team made a statement today. But before we get to Hardenwood, I got to tell you something. How did we get Hardenwood? Bubba Sandifer. That's right, of Emmett Baird Realty. If you want your hustler to get rid of your house in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail and also get the biggest, baddest price ever, all you have to do is call 901-319-0747. That's 901-319-0747 for Bubba Sandifer. Or just go and find your dream home online at heybubbare.com. That's heybubbare.com. He is your hustler. Gabe, let's go to Hardenwood.
This is Access Hardenwood.
Whoa. You know I love talk. I'm a big. I love to gamble on Japanese basketball, right?
Yes. What is their season hasn't?
No, it hasn't started. But I'm just saying I like foreign sports.
Did it just end?
No, it ended like a month ago.
So it runs at a different time than like the NBA season.
Yeah, I didn't bet on any of the Japanese basketball finals.
Do you know a team?
I mean, off the top of my head, no.
Is it Japanese basketball or Chinese basketball?
It's Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's great because I have this guy who hit like an 80% clip last year and it was just straight up crazy. Dude's great. But let me tell you something. I like foreign sports. Do you watch handball?
No.
Did you know there was the European Handball Federation?
I figured that they had handball had some type of leadership.
Would you be able to, if somebody came up to you and said, hey, Gabe, I want you to play some handball, do you think you'd be able to do it?
You'd have to teach me.
I'm sure you learned when you were young. But anyway, Norway's women. Do you remember when I told you this yesterday that they are not going to stand for the double standard that, men wear long shorts, but women are required to wear bikinis. Did you hear what happened? So Norway's team shows up to competition, and guess what they're wearing? It ain't Lululemon. They're wearing normal shorts. Basically pants.
I mean, you wouldn't think that's that big of a statement. Let's be real.
Well, they were fined. Each player was fined 150 euros, and then the team was also fined 200 euros for a uniform violation, and the Norwegian Handball Federation has vowed that they are going to pay for all of Norway's penalties, and that the, basically, European Handball Federation doesn't have a leg to stand on. They're saying this is 2021. There should not be a double standard for men as there is for women. Gabe Kuhn, I just want to know, how do you agree? Do you agree or disagree with this stance?
I agree with that stance. Why do they have to wear bikini bottoms? Why?
Well, one, they came out and said this is very inappropriate. This is Norway. This is very inappropriate. Blah, 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 blah. And then the European Federation came back and said, well, if we want people watching our sports, you might want to dress sexy. So maybe should the women get paid more than the men? Have you ever gone to a Hooters and seen a man waiter?
You need to stop.
I'm just saying.
Look, if your only argument is that we need to sexualize these women to be able to have people watch it on TV, that's probably not a great thing to stand on.
I don't think I could have said that any better. I'm right there with you.
Probably not the best excuse.
But I will have to admit, without Norway's stance, I don't think anybody in this whole entire Mid-South would know that handball existed. Well, they would think they knew what handball was, but they wouldn't know what handball was. So did you know what Conor McGregor did to, I guess, how do you say this? Make himself feel better about breaking his leg and getting beat up by Dustin Poirier?
What?
He went and bought a $3.6 million yacht. But the weird thing is, he had it made by Lambo. Like Lamborghini, that is. It is a 63-foot, 24-ton.
Thing's tiny.
60-knot, 4,000 horsepower engine. And it balls like a madman. And he's calling it Proper 12. Now, he made $180 million in 2020, so it's not like he's going to be poor. But, bro, would you spend $3.6 million on a yacht? Heck yeah, you would if you had it. You know how many parties you can have on that bad boy? This thing is beautiful.
That's a tiny yacht, though.
Well, I mean, it's about speed, bro. It's a Lambo yacht, okay? This ain't like
that ain't a Jerry Jones yacht. I'm not impressed.
It's not a Tiger Woods yacht. It's not Jerry Jones.
I'm not impressed, then.
Oh, my goodness. So you're part of the Billionaires Boys Club, huh? Man, I'll tell you one thing. I'll go out with it. Man, it's a Lambo yacht, dude. It's still dope. Conor McGregor is very excited. So what is the number one cause for divorce?
You're going to make me answer?
Marriage.
Your answer?
Marriage.
Yep, I know.
It's the number one cause of divorce. But why is it, how is it that all these professional athletes start getting engaged at the same time? Are they trying to one-up them? Because I'll say one thing. The last person who tried to one-up the next athlete was Dwayne Haskins.
Before we continue with this conversation, are you going to criticize someone for their method of proposing?
No, actually, I'm not.
Or the ring they bought?
I'm not even going to do that.
Or the wedding they had? Okay.
Actually, I got to say, TJ Yacht did a pretty good job. It looks like a
TJ Yacht or what?
TJ what? Did I say yacht?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry. I got yachts on the brain, brother. TJ Watt, you know that he's not going to be playing across from Bud Dupree, and they're not going to be wreaking havoc in the Steelers. They got Melvin Ingram, so there's news there that Melvin Ingram is playing with the Steelers. So coming off the edges, TJ Watt, Melvin Ingram. But TJ Watt obviously knows that he's in trouble now that Bud Dupree is a Tennessee Titan and Melvin Ingram's on his team, because you know what he did? He gave his fiancée, well, his now fiancée, his girlfriend, $100,000 diamond ring. It's a 2.5 carat. It's considered a flawless, colorless, triple EX Grande diamond. Do you know what any of that means? It means it's very, very rare and very, very dang expensive.
Yep.
Now, do you want to know the shocking part? After she got a $100,000 ring, she said yes. Does this shock you in any way?
No.
So if TJ Watt asked you to marry him and put a $100,000 ring on your finger, I just want to know, what's your answer, Gabe Kuhn? He's thinking about it.
Let me think.
He's thinking about it, dude.
I'm putting myself in her shoes, right?
No.
Oh, so I'm myself?
Yeah, you're just.
Oh, I say
you.
no then.
Oh, you say no then?
What do you say?
I don't know, man. I like money. This is a tough one. Do I just bear down? No, just kidding. I don't know. I'm going to shut up because I'm an idiot. Now, I told y'all that John Daly, did you know he's an athlete like no other? Do you know that John Daly once had a stroke at Pat Perez's house? Goes to the hospital, gets released after 6 hours, calls up Pat and tells him to pick him up from the hospital. And you know what he tells Pat? Bring a 12-pack. The minute he gets out of the hospital from stroking out, John Daly pounds some more beer. And they said he drank a case of beer and then went out and played golf, stayed up all night, smoked like 4 cartons of heaters, not 4 cartons, but at least 4 packs, and went out and played golf, drunker than Cooter Brown, and they said he shot a couple under par. Is there any other athlete like John Daly on planet Earth? And do you know, have you ever seen Beer League?
I have.
Is that not one of the best movies of all time?
Oh, it's fantastic.
If we started a beer league, would the captain of your team not be John Daly?
He is a legend.
He's a legend. Him and Wade Boggs put them head to head.
I still don't believe the Wade Boggs story. You're not going to make me believe that.
I guess
he did not. Was it 107?
He drank 107 beers
in
on a
4
flight.
hours. No
Yep.
way. No chance.
You don't understand how great Wade Boggs was, but that's okay. But yes, John Daly went to Pat Perez's house, had a stroke, an ambulance came to get him. He went and got taken care of, and then he had Pat Perez pick him up with a 12-pack, and again, stayed up all night smoking heaters, drinking beers, and then went out and played golf the next day. I have never had a stroke, okay? A lot of people out there might disagree, but I don't believe medically I've ever had a stroke. But I can tell you one thing. If I did have a stroke, I might actually take a day off of work. And I might even relax and not even drink my Tito's when I got home.
Really?
I might wait.
Really? I don't know, man.
You don't. I know I love Tito's.
You got that John Daly attitude. Let's be real.
You know what? That's right. I ain't packing it in.
You may be down, but you're never out.
I am not packing it in.
Hey, so I have to ask you this. Rob Manfred, I bet he doesn't have many friends, right? Like, you can't imagine he
What
has
a
many
question.
friends. I mean, does he? Do you think he has any good friends? Besides the people he works with? And I don't even know. I bet they're just friends with him because he's powerful.
I bet he don't have friends now.
So last night, you know who Travis Scott is, right?
Yeah, he's the rapper that's dating one of the Kardashians.
Yeah, Travis Scott posted a picture with Rob Manfred.
He's dating the billionaire Jenner girl.
Yeah, Kylie.
By the way,
Yeah.
she's the best looking.
Well, yeah.
She is.
I'd probably agree with you there.
Yeah, it's about time you agree with me on
But yeah,
something.
Travis Scott and Rob Manfred picture together last night on Travis Scott's IG story, on his Instagram story. Most unlikely friendship in the history of history?
The commissioner of baseball hanging out with Travis Scott. Yes, I would say that's probably one of the most unlikely things in human history.
And know what's interesting about this? Travis Scott, you know where he's from?
Oakland?
Houston. Big Astros fan.
Really? And they
Yeah.
are a bunch of cheaters.
Yeah.
Speaking of baseball, did you know this? Do you know who has a vote today? The Oakland City Council people. You know what they're voting on? That $12 billion palace ballpark that for 2 decades the Athletics have been trying to get. How do you think the vote's going to go up? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'm going to go thumbs down.
Well, the Athletics basically say if it's thumbs down today, you can go ahead and kiss your lucky stars that unequivocally they are bouncing on this bad boy.
Even if it's a thumbs up, it doesn't take that out of the question. Because thumbs up just means they're going to keep talking about it.
Correct. You're exactly right. But they did. The owner of the A's did come out and say today, if it is a thumbs down, he says we will be leaving the Bay Area 100%. So maybe just to keep him around a little bit longer. I don't know. Thumbs up. Now, I got a positive story before I go back to Ben Zobrist. By the way, we got another Ben Zobrist
I'm
story.
depressed with the Ben Zobrist news.
By the way, just everybody do me a favor. Say
Pray
a prayer
for him.
Ben Zobrist.
Please pray for him.
Because, man,
he needs it.
he needs some mental help.
Because I'll tell you, his pastor is not doing a good job at praying for him.
No, he is not. When you're praying on his wife, that's not the kind of pray that you're asking for from a pastor. I can promise you that, brother. Now, do you know Drew Robinson? I doubt it. He had one of the greatest stories this year. He played in the Giants organization. Last year, he tried to commit suicide. He shot himself in the head. Luckily, the ball ricocheted off his skull and then went out his eye. And I know this sounds crazy to say a man lost his eye and he's lucky, but he did try to kill himself. Do you know that Drew Robinson, and again, he's right now probably the best story in baseball because, I mean, Rob Manfred hanging out with Travis Scott is not the best story in the world, even though we love the Kardashians and Jenners. But Drew Robinson came back at 29 years old after an attempted suicide, played baseball. He officially has announced his retirement. In his last game, my man with one eye made a diving catch in the outfield, and that was just flat out awesome. But then in his retirement, I found out this. Did you know that the Giants organization is hiring him as a mental health advocate for their players? And I don't know about this, but dude, I think this is absolutely genius. And congratulations to Drew Robinson, because I know he's inspired a lot of people, and I know a lot of people think to yourself, you know, with all the stuff with mental health issues going around, hey, I go to a shrink. They're great. Everybody needs a little mental health every once in a while. And Drew Robinson is going to be able to take that to the forefront. And I think he'll be able to break through to some athletes who, again, identify as a ball player. Instead of like actually figuring out who you are, they see themselves as straight up a ball player. And then when their ball playing career comes almost to an end, they start getting depressed, have mental health issues. I think Drew's going to be able to shine a very bright light on that and help a lot of people. Congratulations to the Giants organization.
I just can't get over how classy that is by the Giants.
Classy.
Very, very classy.
Yep. Speaking of classy, this is going to be a hard transition. Let's just say non-classy. Let's just say trashy. Have you ever heard of sassy and chassis? Oh, I mean sassy and classy. There's two different ones. There's a sassy and there's a classy. Sometimes sassy's fun, but classy's always better. What do you call Ben Zobrist's wife? Sassy or classy?
I guess sassy.
Yeah.
Definitely not classy.
Anything but classy. So we talked about yesterday how when my man left playing pro baseball, because his wife was cheating on him with his pastor, that she was trying to get money. Like she wanted $4 million from the $8 million that he did not earn because he quit baseball to try to save his marriage. Well, now there's more things coming out. Do you know where the genesis of this split took place? By the way, they call her name is Juliana Zobrist. She's a Christian pop star. She is definitely not going to be doing Christian pop after this story has completely unfolded. But you know what she said? You know what the genesis of? Zobrist said his wife, when she spent $30,000 on a party that was held at their own farm, she said he knew something was up. She spent $30,000 on her pastor's birthday out at Ben Zobrist's farm. And that was the tipping point where he started saying to himself, he looked at his bank statement, $30,000, calls up his wife and says, "Hey, Juliana, what are you doing?" "Oh, while you were on the road, I threw a big party for pastor, and we had it out at your farm." Really? Interesting. Flight back to the farm. Now, do you think Juliana is absolutely the craziest and most embarrassing person in the world? And who's more embarrassed? Do you think Juliana or Ben Zobrist? Like right now, in the public, I know who looks trashier, but not many people know
She
her.
doesn't seem to have shame at all, though.
She got no shame
Asking
in the
for
game, bro.
$4 million of the $8 million that he didn't earn because he was taking a leave from baseball because he got cheated on. She's sick, man. She has no shame at all.
Now, Byron Yawn is the pastor. Do you think he ever gets work again?
I don't know. I'm not sure about all that. I don't know where, if a pastor, if you get caught in an adult.
If you are counseling a marriage and you start dating
I don't know if you can get another job being a pastor. I'll say that. I can't imagine you can. I just hope the court doesn't give her the money she asked for. That's all I'll say about it.
I'm going to tell you a little secret. I don't think she has a snowball's chance in Hades of getting anything. Because a judge, judges are like,
divorces play out weird in court, though, man.
Hey, just so you know, I made millions of dollars playing pro ball. I was a great person. I opened up a charity, and the person I opened up the charity with was my Christian pop star wife and my pastor, Byron Yawn. Then my pastor starts sleeping with my wife while I'm on the road. Do you think the judge is going to be like, yeah, that's just...
And not to mention, didn't they take
shouldn't
funds?
Have been on the road.
Didn't they take funds from the charity
to
spent pay for
Yes.
vacations?
They took $150,000 cash out of the, quote, charity to go on vacations.
So, yeah, again, I'll say it. I hope she doesn't get anything out of this divorce.
I don't think she's going to get much. I can promise you that. Speaking if you want to get a lot for a little, do you know where you go? You go to Frontier Western Store. They got the largest boot showroom on planet Earth. They got work boots, dress boots, every type of boot you can think of, and they all have it under one location, 5880 Goodman Road, down in Olive Branch. Or you can shop 24/7, 365 at FrontierWesternStore.com. By the way, the store is open 9 to 7 Monday through Saturday, 1 to 6 on Sunday. And again, 24/7, 365 online at FrontierWesternStore.com. They ship their orders out within 24 hours. It is absolutely beautiful. And if you think they just got boots, you're wrong. They got a large men's section, a ladies section, a ladies boutique, a child's section. They got it all. Check them out. Frontier Western Store and FrontierWesternStore.com. We'll be back to close thing out on Sports 56 98.5 FM.
Get your day off to a great start with Peter Edmonston and Anthony Sane on Sports 56 mornings. Weekdays from 7 to 10 on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Even in times like these, special occasions happen. And when an occasion calls for special, it calls for 117 Prime, Memphis's premier downtown dining destination. From the spectacular 36-ounce porterhouse paired with a Ferrari Corrado Cabernet, to the jumbo lump crab cakes, to the raw bar with oysters fresh off the boat from the Gulf and the East Coast, there is simply no finer dining experience in Memphis than 117 Prime in the heart of downtown. These are complicated times, but if you want simply the best, you want 117 Prime.
I have a very honest golf instructor. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors. My instructor is Marty Fulton, a PGA Life member whom you may remember from Plantation, Whispering Woods, or Holiday Golf Club. When I asked him what I might do to improve my game, Marty, what did you tell me?
Sheldon, I told you to get your clubs together, put them in your car, then take them to the nearest lake and toss them in.
Great, Marty. You're a big help.
Sheldon, you're far better at selling homes than you'll ever be at golf. That's why people often say when you want the job done, call Sheldon.
Thanks, Marty. And if you or someone you know is thinking about selling their home, you should talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and make sure that I am one of them. Find out the difference in what they do in my highly successful strategic marketing program with the Shellbucks option. You or they can reach me at 682-1868 or MemphisRelocate.com. That's Sheldon Rosengarten at 682-1868 or MemphisRelocate.com. Do it now.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage, factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you are treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I'm Brian Elder. The great Kimmons Wilson of Holiday Inn had a slogan: the best surprise is no surprise. And that's so true. When I sit at your kitchen table, you're going to understand exactly what I'm going to do to your roof. From the underlayment to the hip shingles and ventilation, the flashing, the wood repairs, the cleanup, the crew safety, the warranty. It's amazing how many customers sign contracts being told none of that stuff. But the best surprise is no surprise. Insurance claims. Talk to your friends. More and more claims are being being rejected, and only experienced claim specialists are getting those terrible decisions overturned. So if you don't hire me, please hire someone to manage the process with the experience to see it through. The best surprise is no surprise. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. The first hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com. Now, here is your host, Johnny Radio himself, John Harden.
If my words did glow with the gold.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy Johnny Radio. That's the late, great Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead with a little ripple bringing you back on this beautiful Tuesday. We got SEC Media Days. They are in full effect. Today you had Georgia, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Tennessee. Tomorrow we'll hear from Brett Norsworthy. 1:45. We have Alabama, Mississippi State, Texas A&M, and Vanderbilt. And don't forget today at 4:30, Greg Sankey. Whoa. Thank you. You turned me off for a minute. Freaked me out. Greg Sankey is going to join Wolo and Stats today at 4:30. That's right, 4:30. Greg Sankey joining Wolo and Stats. If you don't know who Greg Sankey is, again, he's the SEC commissioner. Not many people wield more power in college sports right now than that man. I'll be just speaking candid. Now, I got something funny for you, Gabe Kuhn. Before I get on to the Bucks, where you can watch the Bucks and the Suns. By the way, we got some day baseball today. Brewers. I'm taking the Brewers. I hope you're taking the Brewers too. But I got a little joke, Gabe. Are you ready for it?
Sure.
All right.
I don't actually know if I am ready for it, but I'll say I am.
Okay, fine.
You're going to say it no matter what, right?
Which food is scientifically proven to destroy a woman's libido?
Which food?
A wedding cake. Don't you love that one? I'm telling you, I love my peeps out there. I love all of y'all. Now, tonight, if you want to watch the game, why don't you go watch it on 10 TVs, 5 of them 70-inch TVs, over at Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester. That's right. They're open noon till 1:30 a.m., 7 days a week. It's one of the best kept secrets in town, period. It is your NBA, SEC, NFL Dream Bar. Anything that's going on in sports, they got you covered. Plus, you like to rack them up and crack them up. Yeah, you want to play some pool? They got 6 pool tables. Grab your stick. Grab the coldest beer in town. Get some bar grub. Daily happy hours, Monday through Friday, 2 to 6. I'm telling you, Getaway Sports Bar, it is a dream. Tonight's NBA action tonight, though, will be a dream for Giannis. It will make his legacy live on forever in infamy. People will always talk about the block. People will talk about how he came back from the knee injury, how they were down 0-2 the Suns, and then they won 4 straight. If they can close the deal out tonight. It's hard to win 4 games in a row in the NBA. Chris Paul and Ayton are going to have something to say about it, but I will tell you this. As much as this will make the argument of Giannis being one of the best of this generation, period, how bad will it hurt Chris Paul? I think pretty bad. And by the way, how many times can he be the lead fiddle on a championship team that's going to have an opportunity to go get it? I don't know, because he is getting older by the day. One other thing, though, is go out there and check out Tom Brady. He's a regular comedian. Gabe, were you impressed with his comedic performance at the White House?
Wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all.
You know what? He's getting cooler. His dad bod's still his dad bod, but you know what? He eats avocado ice cream. He's got a beautiful wife. He's got a bunch of championships. But his Twitter game has stepped up. The way he talks smack to Aaron Rodgers, and the way he's cracking jokes that said 40% of the country doesn't believe that the Bucs won the Super Bowl. And then Joe Biden's like, yeah, I get that. It was pretty funny, man. Tom, he's actually kind of cool. I'm coming around. He's not that bad. Speaking of not that bad, Wolo and Stats are coming up next. Don't forget Greg Sankey at 4:30. For Gabe, I'm John. Get out there. Make the world a better place. See you on the flip side. Peace.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-04